Hey everybody, so today I'm here to do my 39-week pregnancy update. This is going to be my final one because I'm not going to get any more pregnant than 39 weeks, so that's pretty crazy to say. But I've got a lot to fill you guys in on since the last time I did one was at 32 weeks, so I'm just going to go ahead and jump into it. At this point, I have had all of my prenatal visits. They're all done, so the next time I see my doctor, I'm going to be having a baby. So that's pretty cool and crazy. All of the appointments in between the last update and this one have gone great. And like I said, I've done all of them. So now we're just waiting for the C-section date. But because that's it as far as appointments go, I have officially gained 28 pounds with this pregnancy, and I have also been diet controlled for the entire course of my gestational diabetes this time around. As far as the growth scans go, the growth scans went great, and our most recent one was just a couple of days ago, and with that, they were measuring her at 8 pounds exactly. She's still 1 week ahead. They were estimating that she might gain like another half a pound, but honestly, I think she's going to be like in the 9-pound range. I don't know why I get that feeling, but I've had a lot of people ask me what I think she's going to be. Remy was in the 8 pounds. Sophie was in the 10 pounds. So I just get this feeling for some reason she's going to be in between them. I don't know. But the growth scans went great. Everything with her growth looks great. And then the biophysical profiles, if you don't know what they are, they're basically, the simplest way I had it explained to me was like a wellness check on baby while they're in your stomach. So what they do is they check a few different things and you get points on whether or not you meet those things, or if baby does, I guess I should say too. So like, one of the things you get points on is your amniotic fluid. You know, if it's where it's supposed to be, you get so many points. If it's not, you don't get those points. And then they want to see baby practice moving, and you get so many points for so many movements. And then they also want to see baby practice breathing. Now, baby gets their oxygen through the umbilical cord, obviously, but they do practice in utero breathing, or at least they should be. That's what doctors say they should be doing. So they want to see them practice that breathing. However, like I said earlier, it's really easy to feel these because you can't make your kid move if they don't want to move, and you can't make them practice breathing. So you get a time frame allotted that they want to see this stuff happen within, and then if they don't meet those criterias, then they'll hook you up to a non-stress test, and then you can get some points that way. And I've heard that a lot of people have to go to the non-stress test stage because their baby doesn't do whatever, and then they get the non-stress test, everything's fine, and you get to go home. Thankfully, luckily, I did not have to get to the non-stress test side of it. For the first 2 biophysical profiles, she waited until like the last second to go ahead and practice her breathing enough. And then we finally could like complete it and everything else was good. So we were able to get that. And then actually this last time was the fastest she had ever done it. Basically the second the ultrasound tech was looking, she was practicing breathing, she was moving, she was like doing all this stuff. So it was actually really quick. I did get tested for group B, and that came back negative, which means that I don't need to have antibiotics. And I have been negative with each of my kids, but I was told that it can change. But I'm thankful that, again, it's just one of those things that I don't have to think about. I got tested for group B when I was 36 weeks at that prenatal visit, and I was already undressed, so that was the only time I had her check me, and I was 1 centimeter dilated and 50% effaced at 36 weeks. It's now 3 weeks later. I haven't had her check me again. No other reason other than I just don't want to get undressed because everything is a chore at this point. But I also kind of don't want to know because I feel like it would put me on edge if I was already 50% effaced at 36 weeks. Yikes. I'm sure right now I might not have much of a cervix left, so we just need to hold out for a few more days and it's gonna be fine. But yeah, that's about everything to do with my prenatal visits. Like, all of them went well. They were normal, good, just thankfully boring visits that I was just really grateful to have. And it was just kind of like a nice, even though it was kind of busy, it was still a nice kind of easy last few weeks. So like I said, I won't be seeing my midwives until I'm postpartum, and then I won't see my OB until it is C-section day. So there is that. And as far as like how I'm feeling, I've been feeling pretty good. I'm mostly just hot, out of breath, and tired, and can't get comfortable. But I mean, ask a woman who's 9 months pregnant how she's feeling, and a lot of those are pretty common ones that you're gonna hear. I think more than anything, I've just been tired because I haven't been sleeping super well, and because everything is extra exhausting when you're this pregnant. So everything all together, I'm just like always constantly just like, I just want to lay down. Like, I just want to chill here. But it's hard for me because I told myself that this week, oh, I wanted to take it easy, I wanted to relax, and Mark's been after me ever since hearing I was 50% effaced to chill out and like not do stuff. He's like doing dishes for me even though I didn't ask him, because I think the poor man's been worried for like the past few months that I'm just gonna go into labor at any time, and it just kind of freaks him out a little bit. But either way, I've been trying to take it easy, and it has not been easy for me to do. I was trying to think of a different word, but that's just how it is. I don't know. I feel really bad when I'm just like relaxing on the couch, and I'll tell Mark that, and he's like, you're not just like, first of all, there's nothing wrong with that. Second of all, you know, like, you're making another human being. Like, you're still doing something even when you're not doing something. So it's just been hard for me because I see stuff that needs done, and I'm like, I'll just do it, you know? But then you're like, I thought I was supposed to be taking it easy and chilling out and relaxing for this last week. But no, she's still pretty active. All of my kids, I feel like up until having them, they are active. Like, no matter how big they get, they really just keep at it. And I'm totally okay with that because, you know, I'm just trying to soak in every little bit of this and savor it and enjoy it. And so she wants to still be moving around, having a ball in there. I am more than okay with that because it's just one more thing for me to remember. Yeah, the past few weeks have been just pretty chill and just trying to enjoy everything, like I said, and trying to take this all in. I did want to talk a little bit more detailed about my feelings of pregnancy after miscarriage, you know, being pregnant after having them. I have been honest with you guys about how I'm feeling. I have never denied it, but I haven't shared with you exactly maybe how hard it's been or the depth of what I feel like I've been dealing with throughout the pregnancy. But like I've mentioned before in some of my chit chat videos or my miscarriage videos, I just feel like sometimes the best thing for me is to not give my anxious thoughts a voice. Sometimes it's really helpful for me to talk about them, and other times it's more helpful to not indulge in them. So to me, it's just a personal thing on what I feel like I can and can't do that with. And now that I'm at the end of my pregnancy, I feel like I can talk about them more in depth and really let you guys know what's been going on, because I do feel a lot better with it just being a few days away, even though I will say that I still, you know, still worry about stuff. It's just kind of been a thing since the very beginning of this pregnancy. I know that I told you guys in the beginning that I was having kind of a rough time with the anxiety and the worries and stress and everything that comes with being pregnant after miscarriage, but it was a lot, and I think it's because I was indulging in those thoughts of something going wrong. I would have to sit a certain way on the couch, leaning forward. That way, if anything was to happen, I felt like I could feel it the second it would. I would have like something between my legs all the time, as if that would stop something happening, whether it be like a pillow or a blanket or something. I would not really sit with my legs open. I would always have them like crossed or closed or something like that. And that was a lot of stuff in the first trimester. Like I said, I know that's not going to do anything, but that's the kind of level of like stress I was at. But pretty soon after that stage was when I could start to feel her move, which was awesome. But then it was kind of like, well, I haven't felt her move in so long, I need to use the Doppler. And I had to again get away from indulging in doing that anytime I suspected something might be wrong. Like, of course you want to make yourself feel better, and you do want to allow yourself that comfort of knowing that everything's okay, but to do it constantly is unhealthy, and indulging in those thoughts for myself, at least, is unhealthy. It would just in turn make me want to do it more and more and more and more and more, and I would just keep justifying it. So I had to get away from that. And then once she got big enough, you know, where I started to have a belly and I could feel her and you could feel the movements from the outside, it was like, okay, well, I won't use the Doppler, but I'll just move her around and I'll make her kick me. And then if I couldn't get her to kick me, I was definitely using the Doppler. And it was stuff like that. And honestly, if I didn't feel her once throughout the night, I would actually wake up out of a sleep and I would stay awake until I would feel her move, and then I would allow myself to go back to sleep. I'm just being candid with you guys. I know how some of this has to sound, but that is the level of, I don't know. I don't really know how to put it. That's just how things were. It's not because I wanted them to be that way. It's just what I felt like I had to do in order to believe that everything was okay because of everything that we had been through. And I'm not saying I would never advise anybody to do any of that, but it is what I was going through. And I did start to get away from that. Just recently did I start getting away from the middle of the night thing. The middle of the night really did stress me out, and it wasn't until this most recent time, which was like about a month ago now, I woke up in the middle of the night. I hadn't felt her move in a while. I was waiting for her to move, and no matter how much nudging I ended up doing on my stomach, she wasn't moving. So I did get out the Doppler in the middle of the night and I checked on her. And you know, I'm sure some people think this sounds reasonable. I'm sure some people think it doesn't sound reasonable. There's going to be, you know, whatever. But for myself, I know that that was unhealthy. And I know that she was fine. But it's that compulsiveness to like need to know it. I need to hear that everything's okay because of where I've been in the past. And after that night, I was like, yeah, you know what? This has got to really stop, because this is the last time I'm doing this and I need to enjoy it. Like, I'm not saying this happened every single day, every other day. These moments just come on when they come on. But it was a fair amount. And I just wanted this last bit of my pregnancy to not be so much revolved around where I had been and more about where I was. So for that reason, I've been trying to not stress as much, and it's actually been really great. This past month, I have tried to just trust and know that everything's okay. I mean, the weekly ultrasounds surely do help that, but at the same time, I have not used my Doppler. I have not, you know, been waking her up to make her move or anything like that, just so I know that everything's okay. I've been trusting the process, as they say, and it's made me feel really good. And like I said, I know I've been honest with you guys that I've struggled with my feelings throughout all this, but I never wanted to share the details because, like I said, me talking about them, me doing those things, it just made me want to do them more. And I just find it best to get away from those kind of things and not talk about them and just try to focus on not doing them. And that helps me not to indulge. It's like a mosquito bite to me, honestly. You know, like, I don't need to scratch it. There's no benefit in scratching it, but man, will I, because it does make me feel good. And I needed to stop that. I feel like if I would be able to talk to somebody, whether it be a therapist, a psychiatrist, like whatever, it would be a lot easier for me to cope with things like that in those situations. But because our health insurance does not cover mental health, you know, and I can't afford to pay $150 for a single session, I'm not able to have that, and I have to find my own ways of healing and my own ways of dealing with things. So that's kind of why I kept it to myself And I just wanted to share it now because I feel like I'm in the place where I can, and I just wanted to be about as honest as I can be with you guys about it. Like I said, I've never lied about it or anything, but I haven't been as open as I could have been. And I want to be open now because I do feel better. And if someone's going through that, I want to let them know that they're not alone, because I know that I would think that I'm pretty nuts for doing that kind of stuff, and I'd feel guilty and like I was the only one doing it. On a certain level, I know that I'm not, but at the same time, when you're going through those feelings, it feels like that. So yeah, that's the one thing, the big thing that I wanted to share. Now I'm going to get to your guys' questions. I asked you over on Instagram, and I also asked you on YouTube on the community page for some questions for the very last baby update. I'm just going to answer the ones that I want to answer because this is the last one, so why not make it a little lengthy, right? So let's see, I'm on YouTube right now. So the first question is, what are you going to miss most about being pregnant and a family of 4? And as far as being pregnant, it's being pregnant. I thoroughly enjoy being pregnant. I like carrying and growing children. Like, that's just, I don't know. I have liked it every single time. And I'm really going to just miss doing that. And as far as a family of 4, I would say just where we are right now. Like, Mark and I were just talking about this, about how the girls are in a different stage of life. You know, they're older. We don't have to bring a diaper bag places. We don't have to do certain stuff. Like, we're able to have a lot simpler of a life than when you have a small child. You know, you need the diaper bag, you got to have the car seat, you got to be able to, you know, have spare diapers and think this out and think that out. And, you know, but like, the girls are getting older now, and it's a lot easier to go out and do things. It's a lot easier for me to just take them out by themselves, because it's not like wrangling a bunch of wild animals at this point. So throwing a newborn in that mix is going to slow us down a little bit, but yeah, that's what I would say I'm going to miss. And the next question is, are you worried about finding time to pump with 2 young ones on the go already? I struggled really hard with multitasking between keeping up with kids, house, and the new baby. I wouldn't say I'm nervous. I'm curious to see how I juggle it all, because for the millionth time, the girls have preschool, and I'm also going to have my everyday life things that I'm responsible for on top of a newborn, and also on top of working. So I'm curious to see how that's going to work out, but I have a lot of faith in myself. I kind of treat pumping as non-negotiable. I know that finding time to pump is a really common issue and something that a lot of people struggle with. It makes sense. We're busy people. To find the time to sit down and pump is really hard, especially when you can't, you know, on some days even take care of yourself, feed yourself, go pee when you need to pee, stuff like that. As a parent, you really do put things on the back burner. So to find the time to sit and do that, I totally understand. But for myself, I've always had this mindset that like the pumping is non-negotiable. I need to sit down and do it. I don't really care what's going on. Like, as long as the kids aren't hurt, bleeding, hysterical, like, it can all wait. I need to sit. I need to be able to feed this baby. And luckily, my husband has felt the same way. My family members have never treated me any differently. I'm sure people have their thoughts about it, but I can't concern myself with that. I can't worry myself about that. I need to do my best by my kids, and one of those things is feeding them. So, you know, that's kind of how I view it. I have faith in myself that I'll make it work and I'll figure it out, but I'm sure in the beginning it's going to be rough. The next question is, do you feel prepared to go from a family of 4 to a family of 5? And yes, I do. Although saying that we're a family of 5, I feel like that sounds like a really big family for some reason. But yeah, I think we're definitely ready for it. The next question is, how do you deal with no lifting larger children for 2 weeks? I do that by getting on the floor a lot with them. Because if I'm on the floor, they can crawl on me, they can hug me, I can still hold them in my lap and stuff like that. That's what I did a lot with Sophie. That's what I'll do this time. My girls are at that age where they definitely are independent. They do not want to be held that much. And of course, they still want hugs and cuddles and things like that. But fortunately, I can get down on the ground and, you know, play with them, hold them, you know, interact with them that way. And that helps a lot. And then the next question is, anything you wish you would have done differently or didn't have time to do? Ooh, that's a good question. I don't think so. I mean, I would have loved to get maternity pictures done, but the kind of pictures I want done cost like $300-400. And it's like, I could do that, or I could make freezer meals, and I could do this and I could do that. So it just, we've never had maternity pictures done. Obviously I take pictures of myself, but I would have loved to be able to do something like really nice family photos for like the last time or something. I don't know. But other than that, no, not really. The next question is, how do you keep up with your kiddos in the 3rd trimester? I'm also in the 3rd trimester with my 3rd baby. Oh, I pretty much do for the most part, but honestly, I've had to let Mark take the lead with some stuff, you know, like I was trying really hard to keep up with everything that they wanted to do because they've wanted to go on nature hikes and stuff like that. And you know, mom can hang, but I can't hang the whole time sometimes, especially when it just like a couple days ago, it was 90 degrees with like, I think it said 73% humidity, and I'm 9 months pregnant. It was like, I cannot do 3 miles of a nature walk. Like, I just can't. I think just knowing my boundaries of like when I need to rest, when I need to tap out and let my husband take over is a huge thing. I feel like when we're at home, I have no problem, you know, doing stuff with them, getting on the floor, playing with them. Like, obviously mom can't do everything she could because got a big old belly, but I try my best to do it. And if I can't, if there's something like I literally can't do, then I try my best to explain it to them, see if dad can't do it, I don't know, things like that. But I just try my best, and I think it helps that my kids are really independent. They play really well by themselves. They're really self-sufficient, you know, so I feel like that helps a lot in a way too. But I just try to do what I can and know my limits when I can't. The next question is, are you getting a push present from husband? And yeah, I did get a push present / anniversary present. Our anniversary is super close to when she's gonna be born, so for that reason they were tied together. But he did get me a new ring to wear on my right hand. He got me an opal for our 1-year anniversary, and I still love it, but I just wanted something different to wear, so he did get me a new ring. So that was kind of my push present. With Sophie, we went on vacation. With Remy, it was a Jujube diaper bag, and this time it's a ring. So I've got a little something each time, even though I don't really like expect it or ask for it or anything like that. It's just kind of always conveniently just kind of happens around that time. The most asked question by far is how I'm feeling with this being our last pregnancy. And I have to say, kind of all over the place. It just really depends on the day, depends what I'm going through, but I feel like I'm generally feeling okay and feeling still good about it. I'm not going to sit here and say that I don't ever feel sad or I don't ever feel like it's bittersweet, because it definitely is. You know, you are closing a chapter of your life, and I've over the past few weeks really tried to hone in on that and try to figure it out a little bit more. I've just been like allowing myself to feel whatever I want when I want. I was talking to Mark about it, and besides the fact that I think you're allowed and it's totally normal to feel sad from going to one stage of life to another, but the reason it makes me sad and even jealous sometimes is because not of the decision we're making and not because I have reservations about it. It's because of how that decision had to be made. I just wish we would have been able to make the decision about not having any more babies entirely on our own, just because that's what we wanted to decide, because that's just how we felt, and it wasn't a decision that it felt like we had to make because of a situation we were in that we didn't ask for and we can't do anything about. You know, it'd be really nice to be like, oh, we're done having kids because that's what we want, not we're done having kids because the risk of the unknown is too great. You know, we don't have any answers as to why I was going through miscarriage after miscarriage after miscarriage. We don't have a plan to do something different. There's nothing that we know that could be different. I mean, it could go perfectly fine, but you're not promised anything when you decide to have kids. You're not promised anything at all. So to think about going through that process again without getting anything, it's just too big of a risk. And that's what led us to that decision. And that just kind of sucks, you know, when you had something else in mind and, you know, a situation that you don't ask for comes along and it makes you realize that maybe a different way is what's best for everybody involved. It just sucks that it had to come to that. It couldn't just organically be like that. I don't know. That's the only reason why it makes me sad, why I feel like I still get a little bit jealous, because I feel like something got taken from me, I guess. You know, like I got it taken away from me, and I don't like that. I don't like that feeling, but it's something that I'm gonna have to deal with, you know, like it is what it is, and this is the best decision for everybody involved, for our family, for me, for our marriage, like just everything. So I definitely do have my days, and honestly, the moments of like sadness or jealousy, they don't last really all day long or anything like that. They're just more like moments, I guess. And I try to focus on the fact that we're gonna have this baby soon, the fact that, you know, we might be closing a chapter of our lives, but we're gonna start a whole new one, you know, because even when your kids grow up, they don't stop needing you. They just need you in different ways. So, you know, I'm excited to know what that's like. And that is everything. I really don't want to end this video because I don't want to stop being pregnant. I want to keep doing updates and stuff like that. It's time to end this video because it's long enough. I'm gonna have to edit this down. It's gonna be a nightmare. But yeah, I just want to say thank you for you guys' support. Like, from whether you found me at the beginning, you followed me beforehand, you found me somewhere along the way, just thank you so much. You guys on these videos, you guys are just so supportive and kind and leave the nicest comments, and it just makes me feel even better about what I try to do, coming here, being honest and transparent, and it just makes me feel like it's definitely all worth it doing that kind of stuff. So I just want to say thank you. I hope you guys are excited as I am. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks for watching.